How's it going, everyone? We're back already. It's Sunday already. Absolutely insane. We are back with another weekly watch list. Going to be covering the usual SPY, QQQ, IWM, SPX, ES, and NQ. So first things first, just want to say thank you all very much for watching. I appreciate every single one of you, and I hope you had a good weekend. So let's get right into it. So first up, I do have QQQ, okay? This has been the only thing I've traded the entire month of September so far. Now, I obviously watch IWM and SPY daily as well. IWM, not as much this month. I have just really narrowed it down to just SPY and QQQ. But honestly, a lot of the trades even that I take on QQQ are congruent with what I'm looking at on SPY. Like I see a certain play on SPY, I see rejecting a certain area, bouncing a certain area. I take the play on Q for as long as it lines up with my Q levels as well. I have just found that the contracts on QQQ do move a little bit nicer at the moment, or in general, so I will be sticking with that for the foreseeable future, but we'll see. If it's on SPY, something looks really, really good on SPY, maybe Q isn't cooperating, I will definitely play my hand on SPY. So looking at QQQ, as always, okay, just to kind of, for anyone that's new, previous day high, previous day low is always marked out on the white, resistance red, bounces green, blue, potential levels, right? Previous areas of interest that I didn't quite want to take off the chart just yet, even though we may have had a strong, aggressive move through it, okay? Like this area here, this was a previous consolidation a little bit over here. Then it was a strong demand area. We tested that demand, bounced, we broke through it, retested it as resistance. Now we've just ripped through it again. So again, of course, I can barely see because of the way I have my screen here with the loom set. But this 465 area is a potential bounce, right? So that's just a little explanation on the blue levels, okay? Just again, areas of interest that are not necessarily always areas I'm looking to take a trade at. That could be more so like profit targets. Like say we break below this 466, my next main support is all the way down here at 451, right? But we obviously most likely would bounce somewhere along the way. Honestly, at that point, I might be looking at the potential levels, or I would maybe take a fib reject, a fib bounce here if we take this swing low to this swing high here if we do indeed start pulling back. So honestly, just looking at that based off just like my system, this is something I would do, right? We have a really big gap here between a previous day low and a high. So if we took our fib and I'd like to see if the fibs line up with those potential levels, okay? And you can see we have two of them do here. The 50 fib lines up really, really well with this 465 zone. The 61 fib lines up really, really well with this 461. So those are definitely areas of bounces if we do continue to pull back, okay? So as far as major areas, the first thing I'm going to be looking at is this supply zone right above the previous day high. So again, we are at this previous day high with the supply zone just above it, right? So I'm definitely not interested in looking at longs unless we get above the supply zone at 477, okay? Or I would look for a reject in this area to at least back to the prior day close at 475 or the prior day low here at 472, okay? So this supply zone comes from a 2-hour time frame on QQQ. So if I go here, we have this 2-hour supply, small green candle, followed by a large aggressive red candle. I do have the open of that green candle marked in the red dotted line and the high of the wick in the full solid red line. Above that, my next reject on QQQ is 480.37. This was a previous day high back here, whenever this was. And then we also have just above that here, I don't have it marked just yet, but you very well could take this 481, which is like a pre-market high back around whenever this was as well, a couple weeks ago, okay? Above that, we have our next major supply zone, 4-hour supply, small green candle, followed by large red here at this 485. And then I'm not going to go through all these here. You know, we'll see where the market goes this week, but I do have multiple other previous day highs or lows that are still on the chart that will act as resistance, most likely, before our all-time high supply zone here on the 4-hour. So that's going to be QQQ. You know, this week's obviously huge. We have on Wednesday FOMC, where, you know, they're potentially going to have rate cuts. So we'll see. I mean, if I had to give a guess here, I would guess that maybe Monday and Tuesday pulled back a little bit before rallying, or we rally Monday, Tuesday in anticipation of a rate cut, and then like a sell the news type of thing happens. So, we'll see. So that's going to be QQQ. So let's see. I mean, I could check out NQ real quick, but it's pretty much going to look like the same thing. First area I'm going to be looking at is the same thing. We have this supply zone here, is 2-hour supply on NQ. So I want us to see us get above this before longing to the next one, which would be up here at this 19,774. But really, I mean, I could almost see this as a break and retest of this area. This one doesn't look as strong as this 4-hour supply up here. That would be my main area of reject, okay? As far as bounces go, first area is going to be here, this previous demand. Demand broke through, retested it as a resistance. Now we broke through it again, retested it a little bit. It acted as a nice support. So this would be the first area I'd want to see us bounce at here, okay? Under that, I do have this previous resistance that we kind of busted right through. Again, could get a good bounce in this area as well. So let's go over to SPY. So SPY, a little bit different than QQQ. We're already back pretty much almost at all-time highs here. So first thing I'm going to be looking at is the previous day high, of course, but notice that's in white is because it lines up with a supply zone that I have on QQQ. Oh, I'm sorry, on SPY here, right? It is, which zone is it? I was just looking at it before I started the video. It might be a 2-hour. Let me check the 2-hour real quick. Let's see. We do have this 2-hour supply here that we haven't quite closed over yet. So, we could mark this, stretch this supply zone from this wick all the way down to the open of this candle here. As you can see, we've still rejected that area. But again, we're right at that previous day high. I'm looking at it more so like this. I'm not looking at longs till we get over the supply zone, over this top wick here of 564.34, right? And above that, we just have all-time highs. So obviously, SPY looks really close to breaking all-time highs here. That could very well happen Monday or Tuesday. Or of course, Wednesday, if they do indeed cut rates and there's a bullish reaction or so on, okay? Where the hell is this supply zone here? I know that I just was marking it out. And now, it's this little one here. So this was the supply zone that I'm looking at here, right? Small green, big red. Again, it lines up with the previous day high. That's what I'll be looking for on SPY. Again, for my first level of resistance. Again, we have all-time high after that. Below that, as far as bounces go, we have the previous day low right here. Below that, my next support is going to be 552.73, but again, another potential level here at 556. So let's head over to the 1-hour real quick. So this 556. Again, there's been some action in this area looking left, a couple wicks actually as well around this area. A nice long wick here as well. Nice long wick coming up as resistance and then turn to support. So this 556 looks pretty good for a bounce as well. So you could do the same thing here with the Fibonacci, right? We could take pivot low, say we start pulling back here, pivot high. I mean, the best fib too, the golden fib, 61, lines up exactly with that level as well. So if we do break below previous day low, I would love to see like a break and retest for shorts, take that all the way down to the 61 fib. That would be an A+ play right there. So that's going to be SPY. SPX looking pretty similar, obviously. It's the same thing. So previous day's range is always marked in red. Whenever we move past those ranges, I'll change those levels to white if they still have any relevance. So I'd like to see a break of this range. If we break below, there's going to be clear support here at 55.60. Below that, I do have 55.35. And then above that, our next resistance, which has been strong, is this 56.50. And then, of course, all-time high. Actually, no, that's not all-time high. This is the all-time high. This is just 5,700 that I have marked out here. I'm actually going to change that to a darker color. That's one thing I've been doing recently on SPX is like 50, like here, see this level here? This is 5,500. It's just in a very faint color as well. I've done the same with 5,600 as well. But I have it not on the chart in that gray color right now just because it is a previous day low right now. So it's in red, okay? So we can go over to ES. So looking at ES, again, it's going to be very similar. Let's go over to the 4-hour first. So looking at ES, we got a lot of these little potential levels going on. We have a lot of supply we're currently working our way through. So it is going to be, I believe I have this as a daily supply zone first. I just want to double check. Yes, it is. So as you can see, we have this daily supply that we're entering. So the open of that green candle is marked out here in this dotted red. In that daily supply, okay, I believe I have a 4 hour. Let me double check. It's either a 4 hour, 2 hour. I mean, there's a 4 hour right here as well. So you could look at this zone right here as a 4 hour supply. So this level, let's see, this level comes from, I believe, either 2 hour or 1 hour supply. So let's go to this level. So yes, there's a 2 hour supply zone right here. So I do have that marked out. And then I want to just double check that it might be a 1 hour supply zone as well. No, not quite. So, but anyways, we have inside that daily supply, we do have 4 hour supply, 2 hour supply. I mean, again, going back to the 4 hour, right? We have this right here, but if we just took everything off the chart and put this 4 hour supplies in right here, we have already closed above it here, just here, and a little bit here and here. But we haven't closed above the whole daily supply yet. So daily supply, 2 hour supply, which we haven't hit quite yet. And then again, top of the wick. So, we'll see what happens here. So if we reject out of this or if we break through, right? And above that, we have what? All-time high, right? Potential bounce area I have on ES is going to be down. Oh, come on there. Oh, there we go. Down here in this area here, resistance, broke right through it. Want to see if we came down this area that we would get a nice bounce, okay? So that would be where I'm looking. I also might look at these wicks a little bit as well as potential area as a bounce. So ES, again, I'm just using as, I don't trade futures. I'm just using ES and NQ as confluence for my QQQ and SPY trades, okay? Lastly, we have IWM, okay? So I believe, let me see. We do have, obviously, like if you really want to take this zone, it would be such a big zone, though you have this daily supply up here. But instead, I'm just using this 4 hour supply. So it looks like we've been pretty strong moving back up. So my next big area of reject is going to be this supply zone up here at 225. And inside that 4 hour supply, I believe it's also a 1 hour or a 2 hour. I just need to double check. It is we do have 1 hour supply right there, but I need to go back here. Nope, can't even get all the way over there, of course. But I will double check for 2 hour. So let's see, 2 hour supply as well, but it pretty much lines up with the 4 hour. So 4 hour supply up here, that would be my first area of like major resistance I'd be looking for like a big move. But we do right now, just over the previous day high, we do have 1 hour supply right here. So open of that green candle, dotted red line, top of the wick here, this 217 to 219 zone. And then above that, we just have a previous day high resistance up here at this 221. Above that is where we have that supply. So that is going to be IWM as far as rejects go. As far as bounces go, we have our previous day low. Below that, we have resistance turn to support, this zone here at this 213 to 212. Below that, I have potential level here at 210.28. So it was a strong level at a time. So I'd like to see us come down, maybe bounce that. But my next major support underneath that is going to be 208.40. All right. So that's going to be everything for this week and this watch list. Thank you so much for watching. Again, I hope you enjoyed, took away something from it. I wish you all the best week inside and outside the markets, and I will see you all in the next one. Peace.